A super fancy dessert that's not so fancy to make at all. This easy chocolate mousse is rich, but light and airy and amazing, and it's so simple to make. Let me show you how. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly with the Suburban Soapbox, and today we are making chocolate mousse. It's such a dreamy dessert and it's so easy to make, and you probably already have the ingredients in your kitchen. Chocolate mousse is just like a whipped chocolate pudding. It's airy and light and so simple, but it's also ultra rich and it tastes like super fancy. So it's great for dinner parties, but it's also great for like Sunday roast chicken dinner type of thing. So all you're going to need to make your chocolate mousse is heavy cream, a really high quality chocolate. Don't skimp on the chocolate here because it is the star of the show, and you'll know, like a cheap chocolate's going to be grainy and kind of break apart. A richer, high quality chocolate is the way to go here. Egg whites and sugar. That's it. That's all you need, and a whole mess of bowls. But I promise you, this is so easy to make that you're gonna wanna make it all the time. So to start, we're going to actually take our chocolate, which I have broken up into pieces here, and we're going to make like a double boiler. If you don't have a double boiler, you can make one just with a bowl and a saucepan. So we're gonna go over to the stove and melt our chocolate with my makeshift double boiler. Once your water comes to a boil, turn it down to simmer and put your bowl over the water. Make sure the bowl is not touching the water because you don't want to burn your chocolate. Cover the bowl with the saran wrap and let your chocolate melt. It will take about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, our chocolate is starting to melt, so we're just gonna bring this over here, and the residual heat will continue to melt that chocolate. So it'll be ready when we need it. Next, we're going to whip the cream. So you wanna whip your cream until stiff peaks form. And I'm gonna put this here because we wanna make sure that stays chilled. But I have 3 bowls here. You have a stainless steel bowl for your egg whites, and then we have a bigger bowl for our cream, and then this bowl is to try to combine all together if we need it. Sometimes I need an extra bowl. So I'm going to take a hand mixer with the whisk attachment. If you don't have a whisk attachment, that's totally fine. You can also do this in a stand mixer and it happens like pretty quickly, and then you can just like set that aside. So we're gonna add our cream to this bowl, and then we're just gonna whisk it until the stiff peaks form. And this is how you'll know it's done. You have a little peak on the top there, and you can see there it's kind of holding its shape. So that is done. And I'm just gonna rinse my beater attachment, and then make sure you dry it really well because we're gonna use the same beater to mix your egg whites. And you can't have any water droplets in there with your egg whites or it's not gonna work, it's science. So a little bead of water will totally throw off your egg whites. So we'll just set that aside, and I'm just gonna rinse this. Round 2, we're going to add our egg whites to the stainless steel bowl, and we're going to beat the egg whites until stiff peaks form. So once you start seeing those peaks form, then we're going to add the sugar, and we'll continue beating until that sugar is incorporated and we have a nice stiff peak. And now the eggs look great. I'm going to add the sugar. Okay, the next step is we're going to finally use this chocolate. So the chocolate is perfectly melted in that double boiler. And I'm going to transfer this to a not hot bowl because we're going to add in some of the cream. Just add about 1/4 of the cream to the chocolate. And once that's added, we're gonna whisk that. You wanna whisk it pretty vigorously to get it all incorporated, because then we're gonna slowly add in the egg whites. It's like shiny and glossy. That's exactly how you want it to look. It's already starting to lighten up. So now we're going to fold in the egg whites. To fold them in, you're just going to kind of like fold it over, exactly how it sounds. So if you've never folded anything into anything before, you're just gonna add a little bit of the egg whites. And we're not gonna add all of them at one time. And then you just kind of fold the chocolate over the egg whites, trying not to break up the airiness of the egg whites. You did all that work to beat them. You don't want to deflate them by stirring them into this chocolate. You can see it's starting to get really airy and light. And you just want to blend in each addition of the egg whites until there's almost no white left. You don't want to see any of those white streaks. And we'll add in the rest of the egg whites. And it does seem like there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of steps here, but it's more just the process of doing it. And we're almost done here with the egg whites. I cannot wait to eat this. It's so good. And this is actually the base for my chocolate mousse pie. So I have a chocolate mousse pie that you just make a no-bake crust, and then you pour this in for the filling, and it's so, so good. So once you have no more white streaks and no more dark streaks, and you have kind of a uniform color, make sure you're scraping up the bottom of the bowl too. You should have the most beautiful, airy chocolate mousse ever. I could just lick that out of the bowl right now. But instead, I'm going to put it into my little ramekins because this makes a great dessert for guests. And you can actually do this ahead of time because you need to chill this for at least 2 hours. So I like to put it in the refrigerator overnight. It is the best make-ahead dessert. There we go. The chocolate mousse is ready to chill. We're just going to transfer these to the refrigerator for about 2 hours. Or again, you can do this overnight. It's so easy to make in advance. My favorite dessert. So I chilled my chocolate mousse overnight, and these have firmed up. You can see that's like no longer jiggly. And I'm just gonna garnish them with a little bit of whipped cream. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some chocolate shavings over top. And now you have a super fancy dessert that really didn't take a lot of work at all. Time, yes. Work, not so much. All right, and now I'm going to eat one right now for my lunch. Get a little bit of that whipped cream, a little bit of that mousse. That is so good. It's smooth and airy and light, but it still has like the richness of the chocolate. Oh, it's so amazing. If you like this recipe, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. For more easy recipes, visit thesuburbansoapbox.com. Thanks again.